Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Comes to you live from our comfy couch here on the outskirts of the internet. This is the Gaming Saloon Reviews for January 31st, 2021, with your host, Peacemaker2448 and Rampant Epsilon.
Hello.
It's more Dragonite.
Yep.
So how'd you feel about these?
I'm almost feeling like the one thing that I might have a little bit of a problem with is the fact that while it does feel like we've got a main villain, I kind of also feel like, you know, he's truthfully useless.
Look, he does so many things, like have everything else do everything for him.
And sometimes have horrible planning skills.
Fair.
It's one of those, it's like, yeah. I am
Don't worry.
super not interested in his side of it, just in how he screws up his plans. And still
Don't worry,
somehow makes them work.
Yeah. Xaviex won't be on the sidelines forever.
It's one of those that makes me wonder if that's something that actually could be fixed early on. Like, just because of the premise of Ryuki kind of deal.
Okay, here's the thing about Ryuki. Its main villain also does nothing for a majority of the series. So
Makes sense.
this is a problem of the source material that is carried over into the adaptation. Because also for reference, Xaviex is like unique to the show. Like his monster design and all that. That's new to Dragonite. That doesn't really have a counterpart in Ryuki. He only has like one thing in common with the main villain of Ryuki, and that's it.
I actually kind of could have saw this as a design for a monster suit. Or Ryuki kind of deal. Not necessarily main villain kind of concept. I could kind of see it as a monster suit at least.
Nah, this is wholly new.
Because it kind of looked like it maybe favors designs we've seen for different ones. And it's like, yeah, I could see that actually being from source.
Yeah. It also feels, now that I've seen it, more very bat-like, which is weirdly meta.
I mean, fair.
Like our main villain looks vaguely bat-like. Huh. The first monster Ryder ever fought was a bat.
Yeah.
I guess we work with that. Yeah, folks, we're covering episodes 9 through 12. Anything else before we hit the recap, then?
No.
Alright, then, we're going to kick off with episode 9, Kamen Thrust. So we pick up where we left off last week with Lin being confronted by the Kamen Thrust. And he tells, like, Maya to leave and go back. And she's like, how? And he's like, this way. And he kind of shoves her into a car. And she just kind of bounces off the car. And he's like, oh, oops, sorry, hang on.
Yeah, I love how he forgets that, you know, not everyone can just go through.
Yeah. So he kind of has, like, put his hand on her shoulder and kind of, like, push her through. So she'll, like, just go through and just pop out the other end.
Because that works.
Right. So he does that, and then Thrust kicks Lin his deck, so Lin transforms and is now fighting Thrust. And he'll be fighting Thrust for the rest of the episode.
And for most of the next 3.
Yep. Also, Trent continues to worry about Maya in the background. Oh, and we also find out what Thrust's situation is. Apparently, he's been blackmailed into a battle club, and that's what he thinks this is, which is not the case, but we'll get there.
Yeah. And I swear, he is dense.
Yeah, he is. So while Trent's worrying, I guess her name's Grace. I don't know what her name is, if I'm being honest. The person who owns the bookstore.
I think.
Yeah. She tells Trent, hey, help me with these philosophy books. And I love how his first thought is, oh, to understand them? No, they're heavy. I don't know why, but this got a chuckle out of me. Anyway, we catch back up with Lynn. He's continuing to fight Thrust. Maya is ignoring her calls for some reason. I don't know why she doesn't just answer the phone and be like, hey, busy. Because apparently she hasn't realized that, oh no, people think I've gone missing. But Lynn is getting thrashed by Thrust, so she tries to call Kit for backup. And we check in with Kit as him and Drew arrive at Kit's apartment, and Drew chews him out for, screwing up and stuff. And Kit's just like, fine. He's not very happy about it. And then the call from Maya comes in, telling her what the hell's going on. I love Kit's reaction is just like, oh no. It's the first of many oh no's from him this episode.
Yep.
As he's just like, of course it's lies. Let's go get Knight since we know where he is. So they go there, and we see that also Grant is nearby, because that's just what Grant does. He just hangs out until he can punch someone. So when Kit and Drew arrive, he ends up intercepting them. And he explains he thinks this is some battle thing, and he wants to beat Knight because big and strong, wants the glory. And Kit's like, that doesn't make sense. You sound just like Incisor. Oh no.
Yeah. I love how he was already kind of getting fed up with Drew, and then this is the moment where he's like, oh, right. Everyone that's wanting to defeat Lynn is working for the enemy. Yes.
I just love it because it's just him slowly piecing it together into a fuck, and then Drew and Grant transform and fight. And it's just like, wait, we could talk this out, because hasn't figured out yet that Drew's against him. He's just like, oh no, you're getting manipulated by Xaviax. We could talk this out. It's fine. At least Drew's on my side. Maybe. But eventually they fight some more. A lot of fighting this episode, which is why the notes are incredibly short. But eventually Kit tries to talk to Grant. Tries to talk him down. But Grant just wants the glory. And eventually now Kit realizes, oh, everyone going after Knight is on Xaviax's side, which means Drew has been manipulating me this whole time. Fuck, shit, fuck. I fucked up so much. Oh no. Oh no, I almost got my one friend killed. Several times. But unfortunately, Drew drops in, drops the facade, drops Grant with a bullet to the back, and then vents him with the final vents. So Grant is now gone, because we don't have a lot of footage of Camo, so
he kind of had to go away quick.
He's got to go as soon as we can, because if there are two suits we're going to be spending time with that are not from the show, this one is not one of them. So bye. Anyway, Thrust sees this while he's fighting Lynn, and he's just like, what the fuck happened to him? And Lynn explains the whole thing, and he's like, nah, fuck that, I'm out, bye, and just leaves. Which leaves Kit to be attacked by Torque. And for Lin to, like, use his final vent to, like, throw off Torque, so he leaves, and then Kit and Lin leave. And they just retreat for now, and that's the end of the episode. Which we pick up with episode 10, Battle Club. So we see that Thrust is a guy named Brad Barrett, and we get his backstory of motocross racer who got framed for sabotaging one of his competitors' bikes by Xaviax and is now being blackmailed to fight for him in a battle club. But this is also when we get to see Sting in action, because Brad's like, I'm gonna punch you for that, and he's just like, whoa, just play along. And Sting shows up, beats up some monsters, and shows like, yeah, you could have this. Take the deck. So Brad takes it, and that's how he got into this mess. But at this point, we catch up with Kit and the others. They're at Kit's apartment. They drop off Lin, and Kit asking the very, like, obvious question of, okay, why does he have to keep manipulating people to get them to use the decks? Why doesn't he just get some people who would just work with him normally? And Lin has to explain, look, everyone on Earth has, I guess, or at least all the riders from Ventara have mirror twins from Earth. And only those people can have the respective decks. Because he shows a photo of him in what seems to be Kit, but is actually Adam, the original Dragonite that, did the traitor. Also, if you see in the background, there is the alternative suit. That will be important later. So that is the reason Xaviax is having to play this long game with all this manipulations and stuff, because otherwise, the decks are fucking useless.
But, that's what also gets me. Why is he so fixated on having Kit work for him?
Because he can't... I think it's a part of his, mentality, because he's been trying to manipulate everyone. And he refuses to not manipulate Kit. Until, I think, the very last second.
But I mean...
he wants...
That's one of those that I'm like, I don't get that part of it. Because power in numbers concept.
Yeah.
And he clearly has the numbers on his side.
Mm-hmm.
And that's why I'm like, I don't get it unless there was supposed to be a bigger reason behind it concept.
I think it's just because Xaviax doesn't want to give up on the scheme. He's like, I will manipulate Kit. I will get him on my side, goddammit. I will do what I did before, again, because I refuse to give up on it.
I think why have one trader if you can have 10?
Fair. But yeah, that's the why the decks are like they are, and that's why I also said something about, oh, no, don't worry, suits aren't gone forever. Because guess who gets to show up later in the series? And guess who we don't have to recast? Which, as you can imagine, will make things very awkward for everyone else, as, some of these guys who have been right assholes just show up and be like, no, I'm the guy from Ventara. But you look just like the guy that, tries to murder us. Oh. Sorry? That wasn't me? So... But yeah, Kit also wonders why, Xaviax hasn't, fully shown up in his story, but, we'll get to the whole shebang on that one.
I think after they made that comment, I think I might see it.
What, that he's Ghost Dad?
Yep.
I believe so. I don't remember, but I believe he's Ghost Dad.
It's one of those that after that was mentioned, I'm like, oh, I got it now.
Hmm. But monster's out and about. They hear it. Lynn tries to get up and go fight it. The kid's like, no, go to bed. Go sleep on the couch. I'll go handle it. And kid heads off to handle it. And runs into Thrust, or runs into Brad at the same time. And two of them like scuffle with the monster for a bit until Brad's like, you can't fight monsters. You gotta fight riders to win this. And Kit's like, you're talking nonsense. That's not what's actually going on. But whatever, I gotta go kill this monster. And I believe they cut together footage from like 2 different episodes for this fight.
Wouldn't surprise me.
So Kit fights the monster. He destroys it. Also, I know it's shown, but they don't really get into it. The orb things that the monsters keep eating, that's technically supposed to be food to prevent them from eating people. Because that's what the mirror monsters normally do, is they eat people. And it also makes them stronger, and also, like, Shinji, they're like in Ryuki, kind of refuses to do that a lot of the time because he's fucking stupid. I'll be honest, he's kind of an idiot. So. But here, they kind of don't talk about it, I guess. It's weird. But at this point, we check in with Drew, who tells Aviax, like, look, I had things handled, and then you put in someone who, like, you know, isn't all explicitly on my side, and you fuck things up for me. And Aviax is like, okay, fair. But you still fucked up. And Drew's like, you know what, I'm gonna go fix this. And heads out. And then he's like, Strike, keep an eye on him, and also have fun on your date. So at this point, we catch up with Maya. She shows up at the bookstore. Everyone's happy to see her. And then she's immediately stuck with closing the shop. Because, you know, payback for, you know, not talking to anyone when you could have. Attaboy, Maya. But we see that JTC is here in person and meets with her. But in between this, Kit checks in with his dad and talks to Ghost Dad for a bit to get some advice. But after that, we see the meeting with JTC where he drops off pictures of Sting, or Kamen Rider Sting, to her. And I love that one of the photos is literally from like one of the next episodes. Oh, it's actually from the 4th episode. Because it's Sting with Knight's weapon. Tommy, you there?
Yep.
Oh, okay. But yeah, I love how they just spoil an episode accidentally. Because it's like, we need photos of Sting. I just print off this one photo. People won't notice. Hopefully.
Maybe. Possibly.
Yeah. But JTZ tells Maya that there's a rider, more or less, but he doesn't know. He's not supposed to know that. But there's someone patrolling a neighborhood, getting rid of the monsters, preventing people from getting captured. And he tells her to, like, go investigate it because that's what she does. So she has that info now. But we catch up with Kit as he hears a monster, heads out to go fight it, ends up meeting Thrust. The two of them fight it. Thrust ends up taking it out, and then fights Kit. And the two of them will fight going into the next episode. But we actually end the episode with JTC leaving the meeting and revealing that he's working for Xaviax, and he's also Strike. Say hello to our other, like, major villain. And who is, for more or less a lot of Ryuki, kind of the major villain? I wouldn't say the main villain, but kind of the major villain of the series, because in Ryuki, Oja is actually a serial killer guy that gets busts out of jail with the deck. So, yeah. That's half our episodes. How'd you feel about this first half? Tommy?
Yeah.
Yeah, how'd you feel about this first half?
I feel like we've got a lot of doors open that I have a funny feeling aren't going as far as they should. One in particular.
Which one would that be?
You know, Thrust.
Yeah. He needs to be around for long enough for us to use his footage, but also around long enough to like deal with something later. So he has to stick around. I don't know, a decent 2 episodes that kind of are moving kind of fast because we're just kind of blowing through plot points now.
Yeah, this show has just been running through plot points. And I'm thinking, I really hope they realize what they're doing with that, because I know a lot of times Ryder has the bad habit of we either run too slow on plot points or too fast.
Mm-hmm.
And this feels like we're hitting that area, and I'm like, how's this gonna go?
Yeah. I think sometimes it's one of those cases of, okay, look, we only have so much footage, we can't fuck around. I say that knowing that there are there are 3 episodes that do not use a drop of footage from Ryuki, and are all original footage.
Dang.
Which we'll hit all of them within like the first half of the show, but it's definitely a case of, yeah. We cannot fuck about, and I think that might lead them to just like trying to blow through stuff as fast as possible because we just gotta go. We can't stall. But anywho, shall we hit the second half?
I guess we shall.
Alright, it takes us to episode 11, Vent or Be Vented. Kit de-transforms to try and convince Brad about what the fuck's going on. And he does enough for Brad to be like, I need to go talk to this Saviax asshole. So this is when Kit heads back, sees that Lynn's asleep, gets some advice from Ghost Dad again before, I guess, going to sleep himself. And also stealing Lynn's jacket as a blanket, I think?
Yep.
Okay. I didn't know if he stole it or Lynn just rolled over enough and it fell on Kit.
I like the stole it idea.
Okay. But Brad ends up meeting with Drew, and Drew's like, hey, look, he's fucking me over too. Let's team up. Let's take out this Wing Knight guy, and let's also take out Zaviax. And Drew is more or less just like, okay, go fuck yourself. I'm on my own. No. And leaves. And we see that Strike oversees all of this. So, oh no, Drew's playing the game, has unfortunately made the wrong move in his 2D chess game.
Mm-hmm.
But we check in with Maya and Trent real quick. They're researching the info about Sting. They land on where the neighborhood is and make a plan with Lacey to dry out Sting, which is a very stupid plan, to be honest. I don't know what their plan was or how they thought this would succeed.
Yeah, I don't know how she thought this would work either, because she knows that they can hear when the monsters come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, so what was the plan exactly here? Because I feel like the plan was look stupid in public and hope that it works.
Yeah.
I mean, it did work, so...
It worked by coincidence.
Yeah. It worked thanks to plot armor.
Mm-hmm. Also, Michelle calls Maya at some point to be like, "Hey, did you get my transcript?" No. Okay, I guess I get to go fuck you over here in a little bit.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, Lynn wakes up at the apartment because we check in with him. He sees that Kit's asleep, and he's like, "I guess I'm taking my jacket and I'm going to leave now. Bye." And they also misses Maya's call about this other writer. Attaboy, Lynn. Way to miss the important calls.
Yeah.
At this point, Brad meets up with Xaviax and is just like, "Hey, I want my life back. I will beat the shit out of you." And I love that Xaviax is just like completely drops the facade and is just like, "No, you won't. I will whip your ass right here, right now, before you even get a chance to take that deck out of your pocket." And he pretty much is just like, either go kill Wing Knight or go fuck yourself. So Xaviax has exactly no fucks to give anymore. Good to know. But we check in with Maya and the others. They head to a park. Trent is dressed up as an alien and pretends to attack Lacey as Maya is in a corner with a camera. But she actually does spotting Sting saving a civilian, some other jogger person from a monster, and she tries to take photos of it, but she took the photos after they entered the mirror, so there's no evidence. Did she forget that no one can see them when they enter the mirror?
I feel like she did.
You should have took the photo before they got in the mirror. Anyways, Sting's fighting the monster. Kit shows up and transforms, and the two of them fight it for a bit. Lynn actually hears a different monster kidnapping someone and tries to intercept it, only for Brad to intercept him and force him to fight. So the two of them are fighting now for the rest of the episode again. But we check in with Kit and Sting. Kit ends up taking out the monster, and we check in with them before the episode ends real quick. But first, we have to check in with Trent and them, as Trent apparently got his ass handed to him by a mime. And the cops got called to them, and Maya bails them out. But Michelle gets pictures of them. This will be important for later. It's the only reason I mentioned this dumb subplot that shouldn't exist in this episode, if I'm being honest.
Yeah.
But anyway, we properly end the episode back with Sting and Kit, as Sting's like, "Hey, I know you're an alien. You're under arrest," and tries to take out Kit. I have to wonder if Sting knows that doesn't work. Like, I don't think you're going to be arresting an alien. That's not how that works, unfortunately. Anywho, that finally takes us to episode 12 of Kamen Rider Sting. So Sting's fighting Kit now, as he tries to talk him down. And we flash back to see how Sting got into this mess, as per any writer introduction episode in this series. So Sting is Chris Ramirez. He is like a fifth generation Marine, but he's being medically discharged because he has asthma. So doesn't need to be on the front lines. But his dad doesn't like that. And Chris kind of doesn't either, because, military pride, all that stuff. So this is where Xaviax comes in, being from nondescript government organization to recruit Chris to be a hero, more or less, to fight monsters. And I guess this is Xaviax just getting the deck out there so it could just be in someone's hands and be busy. Until Wing Knight crosses paths with him, and maybe this guy will take out Wing Knight too. I'm not entirely sure what Xaviax's plan with this guy is, if I'm being honest.
I'm not either.
Anyway, Kit undoes his transformation again. Shows like, "Hey, I'm human," and Sting's like, "No, Xaviax told me. He told me you'd look human, but you're not." Which, meh. So he doesn't buy it. But the two of them see Lynn and Brad swing by as they continue to fight, and two of them follow him into Ryuki footage. So Kit has to transform off screen to come back on screen in armor for the Ryuki footage. As Lynn's finally got the upper hand on Brad, has him on the ground. I guess is going to vent him by stabbing him in the throat, which is not how it works, but limitations of Ryuki footage. Because for Ryuki, no, they do have to actually murder each other. But Lynn can't do it, so Brad ends up getting away. But this is when Sting attacks Wing Knight, leads to more fighting until Chris's asthma kicks in, and this causes him to have to go with Kit and Lynn so that they can talk. But we check in with Drew now as Xaviax talks to him. And I love that he quietly counts what Drew's planning. And he's just like, "Oh, you forgot you're trying to stab me in the back." And then proceeds to show all of the times that he's trying to stab him in the back. And he's like, "I don't like this. Guess I have to kill you now." And proceeds to sick Sting and a bunch of monsters on him. But Drew gets away, and we follow him on a bike chase with Sting going after him. But Drew manages to duck Sting by ducking in a truck. So Drew's in the clear for now. But we catch up with Lynn and Kit. They're talking to Chris, trying to, tell him what's actually going on, but he won't listen. And he actually leaves through Kit's coffee table. He just jumps into the coffee table as Maya comes in the door. So Lynn and Kit have to go after him. Lynn ends up fighting him at a warehouse, and the two of them transform and fight for a bit. But Sting actually gets the best of him because he has a copy card that lets him just copy anything from a different rider. And he does try to hit him with his final vent. It works a little bit, but Lynn isn't vented. But his asthma kicks in, so Lynn tries to vent him with his final vent. But he actually stops it just before and tells Chris to just stay out of this. And we end the episode with Brad watching footage of one of his races and being like, "Well, fuck this, I guess I'm fighting then." And that's these two episodes. A very short batch of 4 episodes, if I'm being honest. Because there's not a whole lot to it. So, how'd you feel about the second half?
Again, with the plot, just all at once.
Yeah.
And it's weird because it's the kind of plot that works fine with all the fighting that we've had this batch. Is what I'm trying to say. Words are hard, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, it's that weird, almost truthfully put you in the mindset of how 01 wound up doing.
Yeah. I do have some bad news about the next batch of episodes, though.
Okay.
How do you feel about a recap clip show?
Really?
15 episodes in, here's your recap episode. So, needless to say, we're really reviewing 3 episodes next week. Because one of them is the clip show episode, and I'm probably skipping through all of the recap parts.
Fair.
But no, it's good episodes, just very fast. So could slow down a little bit, but I still enjoyed it.
Could be worse.
Yeah. But any other thoughts?
I can't really think of anything.
Well, this is a very short TGSR, but I'm kind of not surprised.
Yeah.
When I went through the notes and they were like very short because it's all the fight scenes, I was like, well, it's going to be a short TGSR this week. So next week, it's 3 episodes. But between now and then, I'm starting up Xenoblade Chronicles Definitive Edition on Thursday. We're continuing part-time hunting on Friday for Master Chief Collection. Saturday will be TGS, and we get to talk news and stuff. Whatever may be out there. Which brings us around to Sunday. So if you like what you're seeing, drop the follow. Really appreciate it. Chipping away that affiliate goal. At TGSoon on Twitter. Gets you updates when we're live. Next Exclamation point Discord chat. Gets you Discord link. Drop by. Say hi. See you Thursday, folks.